Hey, this is Jeff McKenna. Just wanted to do a final video about the Looking Glass Rock hike that I did today. I went out and didn't really have much of a plan where I was going to go hiking. It was kind of a open the windows this morning. It was a beautiful day, and I decided another great day to get out in the woods and do some hiking. So, ended up at Looking Glass Mountain, which is outside of Brevard, North Carolina. I went to school there, went to a camp, so I'm pretty familiar with the area. But it's been a while, so I was a little rusty with my navigation and remembering the area. Anyway, I got home. Looks like that is a 6.5 mile round trip hike, and you can estimate it take about 4 to 5 hours. It's a 1,700 foot change in elevation, and my legs are feeling that. This evening, as I'm sitting in my couch back home in Charlotte after the long drive home, um, I say it was a great workout, very hard. Well, yeah, it was a pretty hard climb. I didn't give myself much rest on the way up. I ended up taking a rest once I got up to the top. But then once I got out on the rock face where the overview was, it was just beautiful. Breeze, um, just absolute serenity up there. And I got back down to the car. I was gonna take a bath I think it's Davidson River that goes along 276 out of Brevard up into Pisgah National Forest. A beautiful mountain river with fresh, really cold water. But I ended up just buying a jug of water at Ingles and doing like a parking lot shower behind the building, clean off before I went home. Luckily, nobody saw. I found a good private place. I didn't get arrested or anything. But is there anything else I wanted to share about today in that hike? This, what I like about hiking is I don't know if it's the people that go hiking that are just kind of very friendly, sociable people, or if it's whenever somebody gets out and gets in the woods and gets on the mountain, there's something about being in the woods just sort of uh, reconnects them with themselves and their best selves. Because I feel like my interactions with people that when I'm out in the woods and hiking um, are really positive, And I live in Charlotte, which isn't, it's not the same town it was, but it's not the worst city in the world to live. There's a lot of great people here, but it's just really refreshing to be around people. And most every time you see somebody on a trail, it seems like they're always in a good mood and have something positive to say. Uh, you know, not always, but a lot more noticeably different. So that's something interesting. And one of the things I've been thinking about on my last few hikes as well is that I've been taking note of the foliage as the elevations change. Like I notice a lot of the hikes will start down where the water's running pretty steadily through the creeks. The rhododendron, I think, really likes those lower elevations, um, and likes that constant source of water. For some reason, they tend to be more prolific down in those sort of lower starting points. Then once you get up, you sort of go through this. Go out of the rhododendron, and you're kind of in like tall, sparse trees, more like the oaks and whatever maple, whatever the really tall, kind of thick trees that grow in like forests and stuff. Then once you get up high up in the elevation, usually when you get to the peak, like elevation I went to today, the top is sort of usually covered in a lot of mountain laurel, which is might be a cousin of rhododendron, but it has much smaller leaves and it's usually a bit shorter. So I just think it's notice how, like from mountain to mountain and area to area where I've been hiking, that you can kind of see that consistency in what elevation grows where on the mountain, and it kind of help you tell you like where you are or how close you are to the top. And I guess I'll shut up now. But it was a great hike. I'm glad I went up there, and I drove. Oh, yeah, I drove home through. Let me sip on my beer here. I'm gonna run my mouth all night. But when I came back from Brevard, I came back to Hendersonville on 64, and instead of going down 26 to 85, I said, well, I'll just go, because you can go straight across 26, and then basically you're gonna go through like Lake Lure and Bat Cave and these really cool little small tourist areas on this small highway road, and there's lots of apple orchards and stuff up there. But it was kind of late when I drove through. But I do like and really windy roads. But I really liked driving through there. It'd probably be better in the daylight. So like if you wanted to see something, you could pull over and check it out. Lots of little restaurants and bed and breakfasts over there in Lake Lure. I never spent a lot of time at Lake Lure. I'd like to explore over there. Maybe I'll do a. I think there's a good hike at Bat Cave, so maybe I'll put that on my list for the next one of my next hikes. Anyway, that's enough for me. You guys take care. Happy hiking. Peace.